I'm really interested in these lyrically intriguing bits of music that I call micro songs, which were more possible in the album era than now. They're usually less than 2 minutes long and have really short lyrics but manage to tell a complete story in spite of their minimalist structure. In a way, these are the opposites of novels, but I feel like a lot of these songs haven't really gotten their due appreciation, so I wanted to make a little mini-series about them, starting with the song Cheap Day Return by Jethro Tull. This is the third song from their famous 1970 album Aqualung, featuring the much more famous songs Aqualung and Locomotive Breath. It's 80 seconds long, and its 9 lines of poetry take up only 27 of those seconds, and I'll just start by running through them real quick. I thought about singing them, but my throat is really dry today for some reason, so I won't. On Preston platform, do your soft shoe shuffle dance. Brush away the cigarette ash that's fallen down your pants. And then you sadly wonder, does the nurse treat your old man the way she should? She made you tea, asked for your autograph. What a laugh. The action that triggers the story is the soft shoe shuffle dance, which I imagine is a sort of frustrated little motion he makes when he realizes he's got ashes all over him. The soft shoe could refer to a bunch of things, but I feel like it might be soft because his motions are subdued, like he's trying not to make a scene, or trying not to make a big deal out of it. And this having to wipe the ashes away prompts him to worry about his dad. Narratively, this is our hint at what the narrator is doing. He's probably coming home from a visit, but I think it's also worth pondering why the ashes on the pants specifically makes him think of his father. Is it smoking, an outdated sign of masculinity and maturity in an era in which its carcinogenic effects are known? Does the narrator's father have cancer and the narrator is having to reflect on his own potential future there? Maybe it's just the sloppiness of the experience. But overwhelming all of these questions, does the nurse treat your old man the way she should? On one hand, the nurse takes up most of the song, 5 of 9 lines, but on the other hand, our impression of her is mainly based around a single anecdote. The narrator is visiting his father at some point, maybe even it was today, and she made him tea and asked for his autograph. Maybe the narrator thinks this is funny because he feels so powerless, and that self-idea clashes with the unexpected adoration from a fan. Maybe it's because he's the one relying on her, and yet she's the one who is expressing admiration. Maybe the joke is actually that she's asking him to sign some paperwork and actually has no idea who he is. But going back to that pivotal question, I think there's 2 possible interpretations. 1, he cannot trust her because he is famous and cannot ignore the reality that there are people who are kind to him with ulterior motives. 2, he feels guilty about his own absence. He can't take care of his father, and so he must be left in the care of a stranger, and the narrator is so distant that he can't even know for sure if the nurse treats him the way that she should. If she's abusing him in some capacity, he wouldn't know, and that makes him sad, and maybe a little afraid for his own future. So at the end of the song, we're left with very little understanding of the situation. Almost every statement in the poem can be interpreted in more than one way, and the connections between them only serve to make the nature of the narrator's experience more unclear. What calls his father to mind in this specific moment? What makes this mundane moment more worthy of a song than the rest of the trip? What is the relationship between his father's circumstances and his own future? Through all of this narrative opacity, we get to experience what the narrator experiences at a deeper level. He is surrounded by uncertainty, plagued by his own inability to perceive something. Through the vague half-thoughts and lack of context, we can experience the narrator's amorphous surroundings and empathize with his confusion. And after all, the song is told in the second person, as if it were about you, the listener. Aqualung is addressed to the titular character. Locomotive Breath and Cross-Eyed Mary are in the third person. This song is unique in wanting you to experience it. But at the same time, that painful brevity that attracted me to it in the first place keeps us at arm's length, unable to comfort our narrator because we're only strangers on a train platform. Party to each other's lives for a brief 80 seconds, and then never again.
Soft shoe shuffle dance, brush away